Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. November 7th, college basketball, day 2 of college basketball. Had a great one last night as we took home Purdue and Kansas first half in total, our first half in game on both games. So 4-0 start to college basketball. We hope to continue this evening. We do have a few different plays here. I will tell you, we're going to go over the first game, which is actually going to have our best bet in it as well. But we like a total of 4 games tonight. Should be some, maybe a couple better matchups than we saw yesterday on there. But I will give you a warning, early period of college basketball is not for the faint of heart. Normally we're taking either huge point spreads or a game that should be way too close. So there's not going to be a ton of in-between games. There's not going to be a lot of 6 to 7 point spreads. It's either going to be like normally 1 or 2, or it's probably going to be 25 plus. Those seem to be where the value is. As the books are still trying to figure out exactly how these teams are going to play as well. They have a general, on paper idea, but they haven't seen anybody in action yet. So kind of what they're working with. It's like Purdue only a 20-point favorite last night, wins by 50, and Kansas was a 30-point favorite last night, wins by 50. So I don't know if they could put out a team plus 49. That's why those 30-point spreads a lot of times have a lot of value because they just can't put the line high enough to get money on both sides, which is what they're here to do. They just want to collect the VIG. So they don't want to be 90% one way or 78% one way. They want to be, if the 50-50 money is kind of where it's at, right? So if they can get 50-50 money, they're in great shape. They just collect all the juice or all the VIG from all that, and no problems whatsoever. So first game up is going to be Florida Gulf Coast at Indiana. Indiana 11-point favorite. I will tell you this is our best bet is in here as well. 11-point favorite, 142.5 total. We don't really mess with totals. We're not going to probably mess with them too much early on this season. But as we get into the season, we will. But right now, kind of the opportunity to take advantage of the teams, not necessarily totals. So Indiana, like I said, minus 11 on there, and then minus 6.5 first half, which Indiana minus 6.5 first half is going to be our best bet as well on there. So just give you a heads up on that. But Indiana minus 11, and then, like I said, minus 6.5 first half against Florida Gulf Coast. Next game up for us, there's actually a couple different time slots here, so give me just a second as there's like mountains of games to get through here. UNC Asheville at Michigan. Michigan currently 11-point favorite. That line has moved just a shade. It's actually on another book it is 10.5 where we grabbed it. So we do like Michigan here, minus the 10.5, and then also Michigan minus 6.5 first half. So one more time, Michigan minus 6.5 first half, and then minus 10.5 for the game on that particular matchup. Then there are 2 teams in the top 25 that are playing today. Creighton, Florida A&M's coming to Creighton. If you don't know Creighton, they are in Nebraska. They're in the Omaha area. They've had great basketball teams. They're going to have another good one this year, another top 10 team. That's why they're such a monster favorite in this game. Looks like right around 35.5 has kind of been the number across most books. But we do like Creighton minus 20 in the first half and Creighton minus 35.5 for the game. This is one of those games, again, where they should win by 45 to 50 points in this one. So Creighton minus 20 in the first half, Creighton minus 35.5 for the game. In the closest game of the day, or in the top 25 anyway, is going to be Baylor, Auburn on that one. Baylor, the home team there, 1.5 point. Depends on where you look at it, right? So some places have got Baylor as a 1.5 point favorite. FanDuel in particular has them as a 1.5 point dog. That's where we place the bet, as we do like Baylor today. Auburn's got a good ball club, and they will be competitive, but we just think maybe Baylor's just got a little edge here early. So we did like Baylor plus 1.5 for the game, and then also Baylor plus 0.5 for the first half. Both of those were on FanDuel, so if you're looking for a spot for Baylor to be the dog, they currently are there. So make sure you check that out. So we're going to run through those plays one more time for you. Indiana minus 6.5 first half. Indiana minus 11 for the game. Michigan minus 6.5 first half, minus 10.5 for the game. Creighton minus 20 first half, minus 35.5 for the game. And Baylor plus a half first half against Auburn, and then Baylor plus 1.5 against Auburn for the game. Those are going to be our plays for college basketball. No NBA tonight. NBA gets back at it tomorrow, and so we will with NBA and college basketball and all the good stuff. There's a ton of basketball going on right now. So there's you're going to have 30 games a night here for college basketball for a little bit. I make suggestions, just pick a couple or pick one, or I wouldn't dare put together multiple things. There's a lot of things can happen in college basketball. It only takes one tweaked ankle to, completely change things around. So just kind of zone in on maybe one or two, or maybe following your favorite team and fade or follow them in their games to make it a little bit more interesting. But right now, it's just there's so many games going on. You just kind of have to focus in on a couple, as that's what we do as well. There's teams that we like against the spread or against the spread in normal situations. And normally, like I said, except for Michigan State last night, but Michigan State does this every year where they lay an egg in an early game. I don't quite understand it. And then they'll play the State Farm Classic on Tuesday of next week, and they'll play Duke and probably beat them, right? So after they laid an egg early, that's kind of what Michigan State seems to do every year. So take it easy on yourself. There's so much action out there for college basketball. Just zone in on a couple and try to take advantage when you can. At the end of this episode, in the comment section, you will see a link to the Google Sheets. These will have all of our bets, what juice we got those at, what book we placed them at, how many units we placed. So make sure you do check that out. If you're not familiar with what a unit is, you can make a unit whatever you want, whether it's 10 cents, $1, 100, 1,000, $5, $10, whatever it is. Just a reminder, we're going to be betting multiple units per game, as we rarely play a one unit play unless it's like a monster astronomical dog or something with some huge odds on it. Normally we're playing multiples. So, a lot of people, I bet $100 a game. Well, I'll be really honest with you. If you're $100 game better, probably with us, a unit's probably $10. Just to kind of keep that. So you'll see some games that are 15 units, 100, sometimes 50, 100 units. But most of the plays that are going to make our bets that we put on here are going to be 10 units plus. There are some exceptions that are going to be a little bit less, but most of the time 10 units plus when it comes to that. So, but a unit can be whatever you want it to be, obviously, so depending upon your budget. So make sure you check out those bets, like I said, in the link to the Google Sheet. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel, so we drop our bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple, especially when you got notifications turned on. As soon as we drop them, you'll get notified. Go check out Sports Bets for Free's channel, and you'll get to see all the plays that we made you aware of. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.